Got my little bowl going here. It's a Tibetan bowl. I guess you could. It's a singing bowl. It's singing away. Oh, it was. There you go. Anyway, I'll show you. It's just a little handy Tibetan bowl, and you gong it and you make sounds, and it's spiritual. And I don't know. I've got listed here as comedy. I don't know how humorous I can be today. I'm just battling getting over the flu. And I hope all of you out there are being safe and well and healthy and all that good stuff. Try to get a little more light on me here so you can see this old rugged face, whatever. I'm in my bedroom. As you can see, the walls are adorned with pictures. I like wallpaper, but I don't like the store-bought wallpaper. I like the kind you do yourself. So I cut out pictures out of books and magazines and whatnot, posters, and assemble them on the wall. So all of my walls down here in my living space, 4 large rooms, are adorned with these pictures. They have pictures everywhere. And of course, you can see I have a pretty good library here I'm still working on. And I have a great library of movies and DVDs and CDs and all that. Now, you probably do too. So if you want to talk about any of that kind of stuff, collections, media, and I'm a throwback to the 60s, 70s. It's my real heyday, my period. The mid 60s through the mid 80s probably was my favorite time for movies and music and everything that I've lived through so far. I've lived through all of the years since then, of course, because I'm still here. But I don't think we're moving in the best direction. Although I will say this, there's a lot of creativity, a lot of creative people out there still making great films, great music. You just have to dig a little deeper to find it, I think, or I do, because there's so much garbage shoved in your face. So much of the pop culture today has really just gotten watered down, I think, musically speaking, especially music today. Pop music, it's never been as bad as, in my opinion, as it is today, as far as the kind of music that's selling the most, that's getting the most promotion or the most whatever attention. I just, I can't go with it. I mean, most of it just sounds awful to my old ears, and my hearing is fading. So that, in a way, is good. In some ways, some ways it's not so great. But I'd like to have any of you out there that, if you're watching this live feed right now, if you have a topic or something you'd like me to talk about, or you'd like to, address, please do the chat thing, write in down there and let me know what's going on with you. I'd love to hear from you. It's been a while since I've done any videos on this channel because I've been blocked out by YouTube or to Google or something. I just haven't figured it out. And I've had people try to help me, and we still can't get to the bottom of why I can't utilize this channel anymore. I can't get the channel on my phone where I could make videos and download and post videos like I used to. Right now, I can only access this channel via my computer, which is where I'm sitting in front of it right now. And so I guess this is the only way I can make videos from now on. I'll try to mix it up and give you a variety of different kinds of videos as I move along. And maybe it won't be a daily thing anymore, just maybe a now and then, once a week or a month or something. But I do have the other channel that I mentioned, I think yesterday, and some of you might have heard. Let me get that flyer for you again. It's called Normalcy. I'm not sure which way you're going to read it. I think Normalcy right now is spelling it correctly. And it's one word. It's just normalcy. Don't divide the words. You have to type it in as one word. I know it's a little confusing, but anyway, if you type it in, normalcy, one word, spelled the way I just showed you, and you might attach my name, Ben Patterson. That should bring up that channel on YouTube, and you can take a look at it. And it's doing pretty well. Got quite a few subscribers over there, and the videos are doing pretty well too. But mostly all I do is shorts, and a lot of them are just movie clips from old movies that I've enjoyed over the years, or I think are funny, or one way or another entertaining, interesting. And so, yeah, check out Normalcy if you want to see what I'm doing now on a regular basis. I am taking a little break after a year and a half of posting just about every single day. 4 or 5 videos. I'm taking a break just because of my health. I'm dealing with some health issues now, and I don't want to go into all that. It's just old man stuff. It's old age stuff that you'll get to one day if you reach the age of 72 like I am. And You may have some health issues. And so, it is what it is. I'm taking care of it. But I want to talk about some other things right now. Movies, I don't know in the movies what's been nominated for Golden Globes or Oscars or any of that business. I will check into that sometime. I just don't watch the news or TV or anything anymore. I haven't for about 7 years now. And it actually is better for me, even though I'm a little bit out of the loop when it comes to culture today, knowing what's going on. I try to keep a little bit abreast of the major things that are happening, so I'm not totally in the dark. But it just, no, it's mostly just junk, garbage, a lot of fear mongering and noise, and I can do without it. So, I mean, I'm doing better without it these last 7 years, not watching television regularly or the news. The only TV show I like to watch is Jeopardy. I do try to get to watch that when it's on every day, and minus the commercials, of course. And I think Ken Jennings has done a great job as the host. He's much better than that woman they had on, Mayim Bialik or something. Anyway, she wasn't very good, but I think Ken Jennings is a great successor to Alex Trebek. He's doing a fine job. Art Fleming, of course, the first host, he was good too. And Jeopardy's just a fun show because it's the only television show that I know of that I can actually go on and increase my intelligence. It challenges my brain to think a little bit, and I learn new things sometimes that I will look up later and want to dig into a little more to learn about. So Jeopardy, I find, is an intelligent show, and it's fast paced. It's not like most game shows that are dumbed down and stupid and waste a lot of time just showing people squealing and, crying and doing silly dances and things like that. Who needs that? Jeopardy's a straightforward show where there's not a lot of BS, and it's good entertainment. So that's my only TV show. But if you're into sports and all that, then good luck. Enjoy all the goings on. There's lots right now with hockey and basketball and the football playoffs and everything. But I left that behind years ago, folks. I don't know why. I was a big sports fan for a long time, and I just lost interest in it when I quit watching television. Another topic, there's an election this year, about that. And I'm already getting some information online that's indicating that it won't be Biden or Trump. And that's my fear, is that it'll be Biden and Trump on the ballot again. And of course, I didn't vote for either one of them when they ran against each other last time. I voted for Kanye West, who was on the ballot, but I didn't know he had withdrawn his candidacy. But I gave him a vote anyway, because I was not going to vote for evil again. I consider the main candidates of the Republican and Democrat Party, which are really the same thing. It's part of the business party. They're just, think of it like football, the NFL. You got the NFL, you got the AFC and the NFC, right? The two different conferences. Well, that's what the Democrats and Republicans are. They're two different conferences of the same league, the United States of America League. It's a business now. That's not news. Go back to the old Network, the film Network from 1976, directed by Sidney Lumet, and a great screenplay by Petty Chayefsky. And I think they won some Oscars, and they deserved it because they told the truth. It was one of the few films that was telling us the truth, that the world's a business. I love that scene where the guy stands up and says, "The world is a global business." And that was Ned Beatty, I believe. He just died like last year or two ago. So he was great, a character actor. And Ned Beatty's character says, as the big hotshot CEO, the world is a business. It's all just, business. There are no governments really anymore. The governments are business. They are businesses. They are run like businesses very much. And so just think of everything today as a business. And in the business world, it's dog eat dog. I mean, if you're not competitive and you're not in there with some talent and abilities and getting into the game as a player, then you're just going to be a consumer like most of us are. I'm not a businessman. I never was. And that's okay. I didn't really want to be one, but people that go into the business world at whatever level, whether they're just a manager of a retail store or they're a CEO or somewhere in between, the business world today is getting crazier and crazier with the internet, the way it's just dominated business, and retail businesses are fading out. So the world's changing. And, it's interesting because there's a great book by Chuck Klosterman, and it's called What If We're Wrong? And in that book, let me get that book for you. I'll just show you the title here. Okay, hold on just a second. Here it is. It didn't take long. It's upside down on the title, but What If We're Wrong by Chuck Klosterman. And On the back, it says, thinking about the present as if it were the past. And what he makes the point in the book, and I love this idea, is that in the past, people used to believe that the world was flat for a very long time. Everybody thought the world was flat. And then one day, there came this new information. We have telescopes. We have ability to somehow figure it out that the world is not flat. Now, there's still people today that think the world is flat, and they think it's more like a dome. It's like a flat thing with a dome, like one of those snow globes you shake up, and they think that the Earth is like that. And I'll tell you honestly, folks, I don't really know. I believe the world is round because that's the information I've based everything on all my life that I was taught. But if it's not round, it's actually not really round. It's more like an egg shape or something, I've been told. But anyway, whatever shape the Earth is, it is what it is, and we live on it. But our experience every day is based on what we deal with right, in our close environment, wherever we are, each one of us. And everybody's in a different place in the world, of course. And I'm sitting here in a downstairs living space in a beautiful 3,000 square foot house in Denver, Colorado. Nice little neighborhood. It's not bad. It's really pretty nice. And I enjoy it here, even with the cold, the snow we get. I prefer warmer climate temperature, but I've lived here for 42 years now, and I'm probably not going to move. And the weather, the climate, that's a big topic we could talk about anytime because the weather's crazy these days. It's going nuts all over the place. But I'd rather stick to some other topics. Pink Floyd been on my mind lately. I don't know why. I've got one of the books written about the saucer full of secrets. And this is by Nicholas Schaffner. It's an older book. It's written in 1991. So it's not as up to date as some of the newer books about Pink Floyd. But I've just picked up a couple of their box set, Deviation and Realization, and one other one, I think. They're very good. They have some Blu-rays on them with videos, performances of Pink Floyd, and CDs with a lot of tracks that you probably never heard before. So I'm enjoying those. Another book that I've just been digging into recently, it's called On Quality by Robert M. Pirsig, Pirsig, Pirsig. Now, he wrote Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance and Lila. Those were the two books that he wrote. And this is a book that his wife edited and put together of writings that he did on quality. And this is an excellent book for anybody interested in philosophy in general, or just life in general, or how to think about life. I love it. It's a spiritual book in many ways, although it's not preachy and they're not getting into any religious stuff, really. It's quite different. Another book that I enjoyed reading this last couple of years, The Subtle Art of Not Giving Up. And I don't even know if I can say that now on YouTube without getting banned again. But Mark Manson, the author of that book, and of course it's an audio book too. All of these probably are audio books. Follow Your Breath is one that I've been enjoying, about breathing, getting some good deep breaths. And The Stoic Challenge, one I got at the library. These are library books here, by the way. The Stoic Challenge, interesting little read about having to become more calm and resilient, especially in the light of the stresses that people are dealing with today. And even retired, I don't have to work anymore, so I don't have the drudgery of work and the stress of that. And that's wonderful. Most of you out there probably are still working, or students, or somehow active in some way. But I'll tell you this, folks, the life of Riley, retirement life, is not what it's cracked up to be. If you slow down too much, you retire in retirement, you're asking for trouble. That's when the body starts going south and you start having problems. And I've learned that the hard way, that I would have been better off to probably stay more active even after retirement, find another job or something to keep going. Because my father, I'll give you an example. He's going to be 95 on May 1st, and I'm pretty sure he's going to make it. And he's still super healthy. He works full time. My dad just never retired, really. He's always enjoyed working. He's a businessman. And he's very healthy, and he's lived a life of moderation. He's been very moderate in everything, diet. He's never went overboard with drugs and things, never even took drugs, did them. He never even drank coffee or alcohol or cigarettes or any of that stuff, and let alone the more hard drugs that people are doing these days. So my dad is an example of someone who's had the same sleep schedule pretty much his whole life, goes to bed in the late evening, at 10, 11 o'clock, gets up 6, 7 in the morning, and he's ready to roll. He never has eaten a lot of processed junk food, sugary crap. He's just eaten a sensible diet. And he's a religious man, a very spiritual man. And I'll just say this, I would like to live to be 95 too, but it's not really very likely. I don't think, nobody knows, but right now I'm doing my best to stay healthy. I use these patches that I put on every day, the X49 and X39 LifeWave patches. I believe they've done a lot of good for me over these last few years that I've been using them. And I got Shane. Shane, you're on there. Good. Thank you, man. 95. Yeah, he's going strong, my dad. He doesn't get sick hardly ever, doesn't get colds or anything like I do, viruses and things. And I'm trying to live more of that moderate life like my dad did. And it's a little bit late in the game to be getting on board with that kind of thing, but no, never too late, I guess. Better late than never, as they say. So I'm trying to adopt more moderate attitude in my life every day instead of going to extremes, which was a pattern that I exhibited a lot throughout my life. You're going overboard with things, over consuming. Of course, you get into then different personality types and even personality disorder types, which I'm a candidate for that. I have been told by these specialists, therapists and people that I have tendencies toward bipolar, ADD, OCD, ADD, whatever, all of those things where I have attention span that sometimes is not very focused, although I'm trying to be focused right now, but I ramble a lot. And basically all of those have created, difficult situations for me in my life, being hypersensitive, somewhat narcissistic, a histrionic personality. I kind of qualify for all of those to some degree, but I don't know that I am any one thing like anybody is. I don't think any of you out there are just one thing, like a neurotic person or psychotic. I mean, we're complex humans. We're very much more than just a label or two that you can lay on somebody and think that you know what that person is and they're all about. You have to be realistic. We're very complex human beings, and each person, each individual is unique and different, even though there are similarities, of course, we all share. And I think mental health's really never been more important than today. Of course, going through the COVID years that we went through there a couple of years ago, that stressed a lot of people out. And mental health practitioners were getting overloaded with people coming in with anxiety and depression and all these thoughts about the world is, ending. Not that the world's ending, because it's not, but the world is changing. It's transforming. And I think we have to be partners in that. We have to be willing to transform ourselves, to change ourselves, to see if we're going to stay in this world, we have to adapt to the world at large somewhat, or be the change we want to be in the world, as they say. If you want the world to be different, be a person that's going to go out and be a part of that. So I had hoped that I get a few more people in here on this live feed, but I know it's not something I've done very often. So and I don't want to go on too long and be rambling on here for hours, which I could easily do. Me, if you know me at all, and some of you probably do now, somewhat know me. But I've always wanted, with social media like YouTube or the other ones that I've used, Twitter and Instagram, I used to use. The main idea was just to get connected with other people. And the Daily Stoic. I want to just mention that one. Shane, thank you for reminding me. Daily Stoic is a fabulous book. And that's written by Ryan Holiday and Stephen Hanselman. And I hope this is printing correctly where you can read it, not backwards. It's looking backwards to me on my video, but I assume that the camera's got it right. And it's 365 meditations, one every day. And I haven't been doing them regularly, so I need to get back to that because it's a wonderful book. Every day you can read a meditation, and they're different people in here. You've got Marcus Aurelius, and he's in there quite a bit, but you got Seneca and some of the other Stoics. So I highly recommend that book to you. And let's see what else. Shane is mentioning to me that he's read the book for about 3 years. Yeah, it's a really terrific book. The author compiled it in a way that I don't think you'd ever be bored with it. You'll learn something new every day from this book. And why is Stoicism important? Well, folks, I think it's important today because we don't know what challenges are coming ahead in the world. We know that there's been a lot of nutty things going on in the last decade or 10 or 20, 30, 40, 50 years. I don't know how far we want to go back. Depends how old you are and what you can relate to. But I go back, born in 1951, so I can relate a lot to the 60s and up till today, things that have happened in the world. And I think a stoic mentality, attitude, approach, whatever, gives you more strength to deal with the pressures of life without letting it knock you off your horse, and really beat you up. There's a passage in here about they talk about things that are going to challenge you in life, and you're going to have challenges. We're all going to have them, and the more we can build up our strength to be able to withstand the challenges of life and not be crushed by them, it's so important. And it's just a really common sense approach to life. It doesn't involve God, although if you're religious, you believe in God, there's nothing wrong with that. You can, this doesn't conflict with any of that. None of the teachings of the Daily Stoic or any of the Stoics conflicts, as far as I know, with any of the major religions today. So it's something to look into if you never heard about it. Something that I was aware of a long time ago, but never really took a lot of time to study and learn until a few years ago, when I really got reintroduced again to this whole idea of what were the Stoics. And I used to have this idea that the Stoic was just a person who had no personality or charm, no humor. They just stood there. That's not it. That's a wrong idea. I was wrong about that. So I think I'll wrap it up here and just kind of leave you with this 20-minute or so little video for whoever else watches it. And next time I'll be on, hopefully we'll get a few more people to join in and get something going. I'd be curious whatever topics any of you'd like to talk about, hear me mention and discuss. I'm not the smartest guy by any means, or not most knowledgeable guy, but I lived a long time. I've got some experience and some ideas about things, the way I think things are and how I'd like to see things be. And for me, it's basically come down to just simplifying my life, getting back to the basics, reminding myself every day that life is a gift, and it's a wonderful gift. And I've been very blessed to have a terrific life thus far. And I'm still looking forward to more time on planet Earth. And a lot of you out there that are much younger, I know you have a different attitude about the future than I do. I'm sort of hoping that at least my life, when it does end, it ends before the real big door shuts down on humanity. I hope we're not going in that direction where AI is going to just one day, take over everything. And who knows where humans will be in that setup, that scheme, if that is the way it goes. We like to believe that we're programming computers that they will still think of us as necessary, that humans need to be around. But we read every day about the encroachment of AI into our lives, and you don't have to look far to see it. It's happening every day, more and more. When was the last time you called a business and you got a person to answer the phone? It just doesn't happen anymore. You're talking to a recorded computer voice and a bunch of processing things that want to send you in different directions. And sometimes it'll take you up to an hour to talk to a person on a phone. And that's really insane. We're talking about our government. Oh, yeah. And I get another message here from Shane. Thanks, Shane. The chat GPT, I've just read about that. And he's mentioning it's scary stuff. And I guess it is. I mean, it's getting to the point where AI is becoming just like a really big brother, somebody right there in your home with you, on your phone or tablet or computer or whatever you're using. And we're interacting with it in ways, and of course I do, we all do. We talk to it now, we ask questions, gives us answers, information, and we're basing a lot of our decisions on the information, of course, that we get from AI. So we're trusting that the information is truthful, it's valid. Is it always? I just don't know. I know it's not, actually, because I do read things online that I know are inaccurate. Most of the time it's something a person has written, I suppose. But on the other hand, AI, who's directing AI? I mean, who's at the top of it? Is there some set of people above it that are directing it, or is it becoming the director now? I just don't know. I don't know if any of us know where we're headed with all this. But there is a lot of ideas that people have about aliens, that aliens are real. Whether you want to have a discussion about that or argument or whatever, whether they're real or not, I don't want to get into that because I think they may be real for sure, but why haven't we seen them? Maybe they don't want us to see them. I don't know. It's difficult to say, but does more advanced life exist in the universe? Obviously it does. I think. I don't think there's any doubt about that. That there's more intelligent life in the universe besides us human beings on Earth. And have they made contact with us? Yeah, very possible they have. And they're just staying out of the picture. That they're sort of like, well, you think about the ideas that people have about God. Well, where is God? Do you see God? Do you see evidence of God? I mean, people can argue that there is, but people can argue that there's not. I mean, you can go both ways with it. And, advanced life forms, that would change the whole view I think a lot of people have in terms of religion if that were to be one day proclaimed as absolutely true. We have now have the evidence, the aliens come down like in Close Encounters of a Third Kind, and it's filmed and everybody knows for sure these entities, these beings are real. That would change everything on Earth in terms of the way people think about their own lives or their religion or any of it. And I think in a way that's probably why it's not being revealed to us yet. But there is talk that it may be some point in the near future, it may be revealed to everyone. I don't know. I mean, I hope I'm around when that day happens because I'd like to know the truth myself, as many of you would. And it's just, we can live in a fantasy world about what we think aliens might be. Do we really know? I just don't know. I saw Oppenheimer last year. I hope most of you saw that. It was a great film, filmed in New Mexico. And of course, New Mexico's where Roswell and Area 51 and the whole idea that the aliens landed there in 1947, crashed or something. And we got that technology. And that's why we have these phones and all these things we have today, technologically speaking. It came from them. I don't know. I mean, because if you look at it, there was not a great surge in technology from the beginning of the 1900s after we discovered, electricity, Tesla, and things like that. Then there was like a slowdown. We had radio, of course, came into the picture, but there wasn't a lot of new things. Television was being developed, of course, at that time in the early 50s, late 40s, but there was not a tremendous surge in innovation technology at that time, but it started taking off around that time, right after 1947, and it goes on even to this day. So, I mean, we can theorize and fantasize and imagine where it all came from, but I don't know if it's really that important. I mean, is it? I asked the question of myself: is it really that important that I should be concerned about it? I'm not really. I just want to go about living my life the best I can every day, try to keep being a better person every day than I was yesterday, not compete with anybody else, as the saying goes, just compete with the guy in the mirror that I see every morning. And I think that's a good way to approach life. So I'm going to sign off now, go get some more food, and I wish you all a wonderful weekend. I hope the weather's to your liking wherever you are. And if it's not, don't worry, it'll probably change soon. So, thanks for all of you out there that did listen or watch. And I will try to do this again since I can't really post videos on this channel anymore. I can only post them on my other normalcy channel. But I will continue to do this live thing now and then and keep this channel going because I've continued to get new subscribers. I don't know how it's happening, but they still join every now and then. And I want to keep this channel alive as much as I can. So you all be well out there. Live long and prosper, and that's it. So long.